Well, good morning, everybody. Mark Holmes here, and it's Saturday. All right. Hope everybody's having a good day. We did not get to the grocery store yesterday, so last night cooking dinner, I just took a bunch of things out. I said, I'm just gonna try something crazy, and I didn't do it as a cooking video because I didn't know if it was gonna be any good or not. But I cooked some bacon, some hamburger, I roasted some cauliflower, I threw some cheese into it and some chipotle chili powder, and it was exactly, yeah, it was not good. But what I did do also, though, is I tried the keto cornbread. The thing that's, when you do keto replacement stuff, everything is almond flour. And almond flour to me has that grainy taste. And it doesn't rise, so it feels real heavy. And it's just one of those things that usually you get the keto cookies and the keto. It's just not the same. And in some regards, it's just kind of like I just need to learn to live without it. So I tried the keto cornbread last night, packet, and it's not cheap either because it's like two for $10. And let me get to it real quick. Okay, so I actually cooked it last night. Now, surprisingly, Tracy thought the hamburger stuff was pretty good, and the cornbread. So that's actually the cornbread. Texture-wise, it looks like cornbread. It's not sweet like cornbread. And I put in a little bit of keto sweetener to try and help it a little bit. Still has that grainy, cornbread normally has a grainy taste to it and texture to it anyway. But it still tastes like the almond flour. What I was thinking of trying to do with the other packet. Now, this wasn't awful, but by any stretch of imagination, it wasn't awful. And it tastes somewhat like cornbread. I put a little bit of honey and some extra butter on it, which wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't like the cornbread my man made on my live stream the other day, last Sunday. But it wasn't awful. That's the key. It was not awful. But what I was thinking is trying to do it like some Mexican cornbread. Mexican cornbread, normally you'll take like a can of cream corn, and you'll put the jalapeno peppers, and you put the cheese and stuff in there. So I was thinking, if I try and do it, grate up the jalapeno peppers, definitely the extra cheese, and the cream in there, and then put a little bit of the artificial sweetener, that might actually dress it up and make it a little bit more oomph into it. And maybe put an extra egg in it to make it a little bit lighter or fluffy, or you know what I mean, denser or whatever it is. So trying to dress it up, it's the basis of it, but it's still kind of like, yeah. So maybe try and create it into something that it's a little bit different than normal cornbread. Because if you go into it and say, aha, I'm going to have me some cornbread and think that it's going to taste like regular cornbread, you will be disappointed. But if you try and make it into something that's a little bit different from it and create like a different dish, you won't be thinking that this is not the same. Because that's me more than anything else is when you say like a vegan burger, vegan hamburger. Okay, you need to stop right there because it's nothing like a hamburger. It needs to be like a vegetable patty, okay, or a bean burger. Call it something different than what it's trying to imitate, because you will be disappointed if you do. One time I did these black bean burgers for my wife. My wife was being a vegetarian for a bit, and what I did was I took black beans, canned black beans, and I mushed them up. I cut onions, red peppers, jalapeno peppers into it. I put egg into it. I put some breadcrumbs into it. I put the chipotle chili powder, and I put cilantro into it. and of course salt and pepper to it. So it had flavor from the chipotle. It had flavor from the vegetables and stuff that were in there. The breadcrumbs and the eggs that helped hold it together. And quite frankly, when you cooked it, it actually browned. So you had kind of a texture that was similar to a hamburger, but it wasn't a hamburger. It was good because I ate a couple of those myself on a bun and said, this is not bad. But if you tell somebody it's a hamburger, then they're going to think, okay, this don't taste like Burger King. But if you call it something else, that's what you have to do. And I think that is what the industry kind of needs to do to get this stuff together. The weather, of course, is warming up. My neighbor's behind me, she has so many of the tulips. The tulips are all out in yellow right now. She's got tons and tons of them. It's like a jungle there with the different wildflowers and stuff that she has that literally you can't walk the sidewalk because it like literally overgrows on it. But right now with all of the yellow flowers blooming, it's gorgeous. And the cherry blossoms will probably start blooming this week. It's going to be kind of like 60s and 70s every day, but tomorrow it's going to be in the 50s. So my wife has started walking with her friend Judy. They walked 4 miles yesterday, so I didn't get actually a walk in. Just my usual day of moving around and doing all the stuff that's going on. It's been kind of hectic because the Cowboys finally have a couple of free agent signings, and on a daily basis we are reporting what stupid things the Cowboys have done to get further behind the competition. So there's that. And I tell you what, if the Cowboys do actually sign Bobby Wagner, all bets will be up. I think the internet might actually break. So I've got to be prepared for that. I got work to do in the workshop. I got a bunch of different butcher blocks that we got to get out and other prints and things. So we are going to be busy as always. One final thing, what's crazy for me is sometimes I'm not sure what day it is. The only way I really know what day it is when was the last time I had my 9 o'clock live stream? Because every day is kind of like the same. Without football being here, it's like I get up, I talk to you guys, I get my coffee, I do my video down there, I go to the workshop, work on that stuff, cook dinner. It's like Groundhog Day. Every day is kind of the same. It's not really like the weekend is, there's no work, because there's always work when you're self-employed. And there's so many things that I want to accomplish in life before I leave away from here, and people's lives that I want to help. And so it's kind of like I don't have a day where I could just say, I'm not going to do shit. But it's all good. So we'll see where we are come Monday. I don't know if I look any better. I've got a lot still. I still have a lot. Hopefully we'll drop another pound or so going into it, because we're almost at the 2-month mark. Wow. I definitely feel better, with the exception of when the Cowboys get my blood pressure up. My blood pressure has been like in the 130 to 120 range in the high number, and the low number going from 70 to about 90 in that range. That 90 was like yesterday when I was really ticked off at the Cowboys there, but definitely a lot lower than where it had been. And I definitely don't have quite as many aches and pains, and I'm definitely moving around a lot better with my knees. So I don't know if that was the inflammation of having all the sugar and the fat and stuff in my system, but definitely feeling better. Hope you guys have a great Saturday, and we're gonna go to BJ's. I might get some tilapia. I might go ahead and just do some fried fish tonight, and I've got some cabbage in there. Maybe make a coleslaw. So catfish and coleslaw. That sounds good. All right, or maybe keto potato salad with the cauliflower. That might be it. All right, peace.